Thunder rolls and lightning strikes in a rare summer thunderstorm. Center teachers head back to class with a hefty pay raise. And Clark County's Payton May reflects on becoming the first ever West Coast winner of Miss America's Outstanding Teen Award. Those stories and much more on today's edition of the Weekend Review from ClarkCountyToday.com. Hey everyone, happy Friday to you. Boy, our two-day heat wave ended with a bang overnight Thursday as an intense thunderstorm rolled through the region. Near the center, Christine Millett was woken up by a loud bang.
So at about 5:30 this morning, I was woken up out of bed with the lightning and the thunder, and then quickly the smell of pine. And I knew something was struck, so I ran outside and this is what we saw. Fire department came out and put it out. The debris field goes about 100 feet in all directions. And thank God that all of our livestock was saved. We have goats and chickens and horses and dogs and everything out here. Like right here, where it's burnt right there. You can see where it was, had to have gone down through. Thanks to the grace of God, we're all safe. And it did knock out our electrical in the house. All of our circuit breakers were knocked out. I mean, I can't imagine the force of the electricity that went through the ground. I don't understand electricity and how that works, but it was pretty crazy this morning.
And plenty of you also shared your own stories on the Clark County Today Facebook page. Make sure you're following us there to stay up to date and in touch with others in your community. A week after they voted to authorize a strike, La Center teachers on Tuesday voted 100-0 in favor of a new 3-year contract. The deal will see them receive an 11.5% raise this year, 3% next, and 4.5% in the final year of the deal. Superintendent Dave Holmes says the district's main wish was for a 3-year deal rather than the 2 that the union wanted.
Because we've been in negotiations 5 of the last 6 years, and having that ongoing negotiation year after year after year, it's really hard to build continuity with staff. And no matter how respectful and professional you are, it always just puts you in an adversarial position, in just terms of that bargaining piece. So being able to take a couple of years off and just worry about educating kids and building camaraderie and working together is going to be really nice. So
Holmes says there will be some belt tightening, but with a lot of longtime teachers set to retire soon, he's hopeful staffing costs won't rise too sharply. Teachers were crying tears of joy after the deal was approved, happy to no longer be at the bottom of the list when it comes to salaries for educators in Clark County. Students in most Clark County districts went back to class this week. We caught up with some at Hawkinson High School on Wednesday. Only Camas delayed the start of classes until after Labor Day. Well, earlier this week, we heard from Battleground School Superintendent Mark Ross and Board President Troy McCoy explaining why the district won't be going back to voters for another shot at a building bond next year.
We're under the impression that with all these people moving in, they'll be coming in with children. That doesn't seem to be the case as much. The starting home prices, as we all know, is quite a bit, and that could be a factor. We obviously don't know the factors, but with the redistricting, the boundaries give us some wiggle room at least.
And I think the board wanted to be sensitive to our voters and our tax-paying citizens, and realizing that with the bump we're moving up to that 250, but by not running a bond until the 2005 bond sunsets in 2023, we'll have the ability in 2022, if we run a bond and not collect it till 2023, to be able to say, okay, it's truly a replacement bond. Because it's currently around 59 cents, 60 cents per thousand, and we could run something similar and have it be a replacement and not adding to the tax burden.
Now, the district was able to take advantage of a state legislative change, raising the local levy cap from $1.50 per thousand to $2.50 per thousand, and that'll allow them to do some of the things that were in their failed bond requests last year, such as security upgrades, a cafeteria at Pleasant Valley, and more. A Stronger Vancouver held its third and final open house for public input this week. Community leaders and residents gathered in the Water Resource Education Center to hear from City Manager Eric Holmes, as well as representatives from each proposed capital project. The city is seeking feedback on more than 35 projects and 25 programs, which would cost around $300 million if all adopted. The group says the open houses and coming online survey are going to be used to select which projects are most important and elevate them into a final proposal for Vancouver City Council. Holmes said they expect a final decision from Council sometime in November or December of this year. Plenty of drama playing out in the local Republican political landscape. Now, on Tuesday, we told you about an attempt by members of the Clark County Republican Party to oust Chairman Earl Bowerman. At a special meeting, a petition to recall Bowerman and Vice Chair Brooke Pell was presented, though it should be noted Pell already resigned last June since she's moving out of state. The petition was circulated by Party Secretary Park LaFay and contained 12 allegations of misconduct by Bowerman, who refuted those claims in a written response provided to those in attendance. The hour-long meeting turned into a battle of Robert's Rules of Order. 4 procedural votes were taken. Now, ironically, each resulted in a different total number of voters, none of which matched the number of precinct committee officers in attendance, according to a roll call. The 4th vote was a second attempt by Bowerman supporters to adjourn the meeting without a vote on Bowerman's status. That vote passed 68 to 63, and the meeting was adjourned. Now, given the back and forth on our social media pages over this story, we're guessing the divisions in the CCRP are far from healed, so stay tuned. Well, once again, Esther Shore Park in downtown Vancouver will be a sea of purple at the second annual Walk to End Alzheimer's a week from this Sunday. Now, this year, organizers expect some 900 people to attend and have already raised 63% of their target goal of $133,000. Last year, they nearly doubled their goal, and this time expect great things out of their supporters. Be sure to follow our full story to learn about why one area woman is walking for her mom and what the Alzheimer's Association means to her. Last July, Skyview High grad Payton May became the first ever Clark County resident to win the Miss America's Outstanding Teen competition in Orlando. Now, this week we told you about May's journey to the prestigious award. Sherry Backus, executive director of the Miss Clark County Scholarship Organization, told us Payton is not a pageant patty who has been trained to do pageants since birth. State Director Lana Graves echoed the sentiments about who May is as a person, saying she's not pretending to be anyone else or be who she thinks someone wants her to be. Her inner light shines simply by being her true self. Now, May is facing a busy schedule in the next year. Her duties will lead to travels all over the U.S., but she promises to save time in her life for her many plans and responsibilities during her senior year of high school. May also took the time to clear up what she described as misconceptions about teen competition, saying the young women she met were phenomenal and genuine. May is the daughter of Tom and Deborah May of Vancouver. All right, time now for Paul Valencia and your ClarkCountyToday.com sports report.
Hello, everybody. Hey, it's been a fun week and a half or so. Mike Schultz, our photographer, and I went to all 18 high school football programs in Clark County, taking photos, taking video, talking to coaches, talking to players. We started our preview series with the state champions. We had a story on the Union Titans. We had a story on the Hockinson Hawks. That was Monday. On Tuesday and Wednesday, we went with the rest of the Class 4A programs. Thursday and Friday, the 3A teams. Next week, we'll go to the other 2A teams and the 1A teams. Oh, this is a fun time of year for us. Oh, and why did we go to 18 practices? Well, because there's only 18 teams. Give us 19 teams, give us 20 teams in the future, we'll go to those too. Have a great one, everyone.
And there's your look at some of the top stories you'll find this week at ClarkCountyToday.com. Be sure to find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to be part of the conversation and see when stories are posted. You can also send your story ideas to news@ClarkCountyToday.com if you do that email thing. For all of us here at Clark County Today, I'm Chris Brown. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you next week.